You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Saturday, July the 25th, 2020. The Athletics beat the Orioles by a 6-2 final score. The A's scored right in the first inning. They got 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 2 in the ninth to total their 6 runs. The Orioles scored in back-to-back innings. They got 1 in the fifth and 1 in the sixth, but they fell short by 4. Mike Fiers got the win. Wade LeBlanc got the loss. And Joakim Soria earned his first save of the year. The Yankees beat the Red Sox by an 8-4 final score. Looked like the Red Sox were on their way to winning this one after scoring 4 runs in 2 innings. But the Yankees chipped away early. They got a run in the second and a run in the third, and they broke out with a 5-run bottom of the 5th inning. They also tagged on a run in the 7th, a total 8 runs, and they won this game by 4. Jordan Montgomery got the win, and Josh Taylor got the loss. The Rays beat the Tigers 4-1, the final score of this game. The Tigers got 1 run on 1 hit. Meanwhile, the Rays struck for 12 hits and got 4 runs out of it. Ryan Yarbrough got the win, Michael Fulmer got the loss, and Nick Anderson now has 28 saves on the season. The Mariners beat the Blue Jays 7-2, the final score of this game, though the Blue Jays out-hit the Mariners 10-7. The Mariners got 1 run for every 1 hit they had, which is pretty efficient. The Mariners scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. The Blue Jays responded with a 2-run top of the second, and the Mariners tacked on 2 more in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they scored another run in the bottom of the 7th, and they won this game by 5. Marco Gonzalez got the win, and Tanner Roark got the loss. The Padres and Royals played each other in an interleague game, and the Padres won this one 9-3. Dinelson Lamet got the win, and Lopez got the loss. The Twins and White Sox played each other, AL Central baseball game, tight game too, but the Twins prevailed. 3-1 the final score of this game. Each team got their first run in the second inning, but the Twins put on an extra in the third, and they put up another in the ninth. Rich Hill got the win, Gio Gonzalez got the loss, and Tyler Duffy now has 15 saves this season. AL West baseball between the Angels and the Rangers. Final score of this game 6-5, very close, but the Rangers came out on top. Kyle Gibson got the win, Julio Teheran got the loss, and Nick Goody now has a save on the year. The Indians and the Astros played each other, and the Astros won by 3 runs. 5-2 the final score of this one. The Indians scored 1 in the first and 1 in the fifth. The Astros got 2 in the fourth, so the game was tied after 5 innings, but then the Astros struck for 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, which was plenty of insurance. The Indians went scoreless in the top of the 9th inning, allowing the Astros to win this one. Brad Peacock got the win, Oliver Perez got the loss, and Roberto Ozuna now has 34 saves on the year. The Marlins beat the Dodgers after extra innings, 6-5. The final score of this game. The Dodgers made a comeback. They scored 2 in the top of the 9th inning to tie the game at 5, which sent the game to the 10th inning. The Dodgers went scoreless in the top of the 10th, but then the Marlins walked it off in the bottom of the 10th inning. Stephen Tarpley got the win, and Adam Kolarek got the loss. The Rockies and Reds played each other, and the Reds won this game 8-2 the final score. It was a 6-run win for the Reds. Luis Castillo got the win, and Antonio Senzatella got the loss. The Mets and Phillies played each other in an NL East matchup, and the Phillies won this game 5-0. It was a shutout by the Phillies in this one. Vince Velasquez got the win, and Steven Matz got the loss. The Mets got 5 hits. They were keeping pace with the Phillies' 9 hits, but they didn't score any runs, allowing the Phillies to run away with this game. Another NL East game between the Braves and the Nationals saw the Braves win by a 6-2 final score. The Braves scored early. They got 3 in the first inning, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. They didn't score after that. The Nationals got 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. They were starting to rally, but they were already down by too many, and they ended up losing this game by 4. Mike Fultonavich got the win. Anibal Sanchez got the loss, and Will Smith now has 32 saves this year. NL Central baseball between the Pirates and the Brewers. This game saw the Pirates win by 7 runs, 10-3 the final score. The Brewers got all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Then the Pirates started scoring after that. They tied the game in the top of the 3rd by scoring 3 runs. They got 4 in the top of the 5th, 2 in the top of the 7th, and 1 in the top of the 8th. Trevor Williams got the win, and Corbin Burns got the loss. More NL Central baseball. This game played between the Cubs and the Cardinals. 13-3 was the final score of this game. The Cubs won. The Cubs have now moved to within 3 games of the National League Central lead. You'll see that in the standings, but Game 4 of this series is tomorrow, and the Cubs have won the first 3. They started off with heavy offense. They got 5 runs in the top of the first inning, 3 in the top of the third, and 4 in the top of the fourth inning. Jarrell Cotton is now 10-0 on the year. He got the win in this one, and Adam Wainwright got his 8th loss. He's now 9-8. NL West baseball between the Diamondbacks and the Giants. The Diamondbacks won by a score of 5-1. No team in this game scored more than 1 run in any given inning. You see the Diamondbacks just spread out their scoring. They scored first in the top of the first inning. They also scored in the middle of the game, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and then they scored at the end, 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th. Merrill Kelly got the win, and Drew Smiley got the loss. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees still lead. They're 64-40. They won today. The Blue Jays have now lost 3 games in a row. They lost to the Mariners today. They're 57-48, 7.5 games back now of the first place Yankees. The Red Sox getting back in the race, so they lost today. They're 53-51, 11 games back. The Rays 52-53, they're 12.5 games back. They won today. And the Orioles still losing consistently. They've lost 8 games in a row now. They're 40-65, 24.5 games back of first. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins are 74-33, still at the top of the division. They still have the best record in baseball, too. The White Sox lost today. They're 60-44 now, 12.5 games back of first. The Indians have lost 2 games in a row. They're 57-48, 16 games back. The Tigers 43-62, 30 games back. And the Royals 35-70. They're 38 games back of first place. The Twins the only team in this division today to win a game. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics still lead. They've won 2 in a row. They're 63-41. The Astros keeping pace. They also won today, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 61-43, still 2 games back of the A's. The Angels in third, 47-58 is their record. They're 16.5 games back of first. The Rangers and Mariners still tied for 4th place. The Rangers won today. They're 43-63, 21 games back. The Mariners are on a 6-game winning streak. They're 43-63, 21 games back, just like the Rangers are. And here are the wild card standings in the American League. The Astros have the top spot. They won today. The White Sox did not. So the Astros have wild card spot number 1. The White Sox have wild card spot number 2. A game back of the Astros for that first wild card spot. The Blue Jays have lost 3 games in a row. They remain 3.5 games back of the White Sox. Since the White Sox lost today, the Blue Jays don't move any further games back. Neither do the Indians. These two were tied 3.5 games back of that second wild card spot yesterday with identical records, and same thing today. The Indians also 57-48. The Red Sox 53-51. They're over 500, but 7 games back of a wild card spot. If they can get on a hot run, they can make themselves a legitimate contender for one of the wild card spots as we move into August and September. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 8.5 games back of a wild card spot. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals still without 60 wins. They're 59-47. They lost today, but they still lead this division. The Marlins won today, so they move a bit closer to first place. They're 57-48, a game and a half back. The Braves 2 games back, 56-48 is their record. The Phillies are 50-55. They won today. They're 8.5 games back. And the Mets lost today. They're 47-57, 11 games back of first. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals still without 60 wins. They've lost 4 games in a row. Their last 3 losses were to the Cubs. They're 59-47, but they still lead the division. The Cubs doing their best to prevent the Cardinals from being in the lead any further. The Cubs won 3 games out of the 4-game series these two have played in, but they've only played 3 games. Game 4 is tomorrow. If the Cubs win that game, they'll complete the sweep of the series, and they'll move to within 2 games of the Cardinals for first place. Right now, though, they're in second. The Brewers are 48-55. They've lost 3 games in a row, and they continue to have a downward trend, 9.5 games back of that top wildcard spot. The Reds, 44-60, 14 games back. They've won 2 games in a row. And the Pirates, getting close to 40 wins. They've won 3 games in a row. 39-65 is their overall record, and they're 19 games back of first place. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 70-35, still at the top of this division by a large margin. The Diamondbacks, the next best team in the NL West, they're 56-48, 13.5 games back. The Padres, 56-49, 14 games back. The Rockies have lost 4 games in a row. They've also lost 7 of their last 10. They're 43-62, 27 games back of first. And the Giants are 40-64, 29.5 games back of first. And here are the wildcard standings in the National League. The Marlins still have the top spot. They're 57-48. The Braves and Diamondbacks tied with the same record. They each qualify for that second wildcard spot. and they're both a half game back of the Marlins for the first wild card spot. The Padres still a half game back. They're 56 and 49. These top 5 teams, top 6 teams have won today. So that keeps this race rather close and almost identical to yesterday. The Cubs 55 and 49, a game back. The Phillies have a winning percentage under 500, but they're 6.5 games back. They won today. Every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 7.5 games back of one of those wild card spots. And let's take a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera still has the highest. He's at a 349. JD Martinez second best at a 334, and Xander Bogaerts third best with a 330. In the National League, Christian Yelich has a 346, Jonathan Villar up to a 345, and Corey Seager third best with a 341. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the most at 141, JD Martinez second most at 139, and Miguel Andujar third most with 138. In the National League, Jonathan Villar is the most with 153, Marcus Semien second most with 134, and Nolan Arenado third most with 132. At bat leaders in the American League, Jose Abreu has 425. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has 443. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon has 37. He's the leader. Jose Abreu, one behind him with 36. And Whit Merrifield rounds out the top 3 with 31. In the National League, Jonathan Villar, the leader with 46. 11 behind him, Christian Yelich, who has 35. Trey Turner and Ahmed Rosario tied for third best with 29. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 7. Jose Altuve second best with 6. Stephen Piscotty, Adam Eaton, Eddie Rosario, D. Gordon, Byron Buxton, and Whit Merrifield all tied for the third most triples in the AL with 5. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has 13. Victor Robles and Hunter Pence tied with the second most. They each have 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton has the most with 35. There's a 4-way tie for second most. Gleyber Torres, Nelson Cruz, JD Martinez, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. all have 29. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt and Ronald Acuna Jr. still lead with 36. Pete Alonso and Freddie Freeman tied for third best with 29. RBI leaders in the American League, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has the most with 90. Chris Davis second most with 85. Mitch Moreland and Nelson Cruz tied for third best with 82. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with 96. Freddie Freeman second best with 80. Cody Bellinger, Eugenio Suarez, and Manny Machado all tied for third best with 78. Runs scored leaders in the American League, JD Martinez leads with 79. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with 87. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi and Malik Smith each have 23, which qualifies them both for the league lead in this category. D. Gordon rounds out the top 3 with 21. In the National League, Starling Marte leads with 35, Trey Turner 2 behind him with 33, and Jonathan Villar rounds out the top 3 with 30. Walks leaders in the American League, Rhys Hoskins has 65. In the National League, Mookie Betts leads with 72. On-base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a 419, Carlos Santana second highest at a 408, and JD Martinez third highest at a 406. In the National League, Christian Yelich leads with a 446, Paul Goldschmidt second best with a 442, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third best with a 424. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Max Kepler has the highest at a 620, JD Martinez 5 points behind him with a 615, and Justin Upton rounds out the top 3 with a 608. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. at a 719. Paul Goldschmidt's slugging percentage continues to fall. He's at a 694 now, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a 673. On-base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, only 2 now with an OPS over 1,000. JD Martinez, one of them, 1.021. He leads the AL, and Josh Donaldson, second highest at a 1.012. And Max Kepler rounds out the top 3, but he's below 1,000. He has a 993 OPS. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has a 1.143, Paul Goldschmidt at a 1.136, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a 1.119. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League. There are 3 pitchers tied with the most wins in the AL. Kenta Maeda, Lucas Giolito, and Jordan Montgomery all have 12 wins. In the National League, Walker Buehler has 14. That leads all of Major League Baseball. Steven Strasburg, second highest total with 12. And Madison Bumgarner rounds out the top 3 with 11. Losses leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda and Chris Bassett have lost the least amount of games among those that qualify. They each have a loss. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the least amount of losses. Among pitchers that qualify, he has 2. Saves leaders in the American League, 3-way tie for the league best. Liam Hendricks, Brad Hand, and Roberto Ozuna They all have 34 saves. In the National League, Craig Kimbrell leads with 36. Kenley Jansen second best with 34. Giovanni Gallegos and Kirby Yates tied for third best with 33. Earned run average leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a 2.36, Kenta Maeda second lowest at a 2.41, and Aaron Savali third lowest at a 2.57. In the National League, Marcus Stroman has the lowest at a 2.25. They each have the same earned run average. Walker Buehler also has a 2.25. They each qualify for the league lead in this category, and Steven Strasburg third lowest at a 2.50. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has allowed the least amount with 9. In the National League, Marcus Stroman, Robbie Ray, and Caleb Smith each qualify for the least amount of home runs allowed among pitchers that qualify. They each have allowed 9 home runs. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 4 complete game shutouts this year. Garrett Cole has 3. Jake Odorizzi has 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has 5. Zach Wheeler has 3, second best. Merrill Kelly, Sandy Alcantara, Aaron Nola, and Walker Buehler each tied with the third most shutouts in the National League. They each have 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole has the most at 171, Lucas Giolito second most at 160, and Jake Odorizzi third most with 154. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 171, Aaron Nola second best with 156, and Clayton Kershaw rounds out the top 3 with 154. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers, Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 4, Garrett Cole has thrown 3, Aaron Savali and Jake Odorizzi each have thrown 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has 5, Zach Wheeler has 4, and Aaron Nola has 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has 148 innings pitched. In the National League, Aaron Nola also has 148 innings pitched. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, Carlos Carrasco and Masahiro Tanaka have allowed the least amount among pitchers that qualify with 26. In the National League, Brett Anderson has allowed the least amount, and he's also walked 26. Whip leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a 106, Sean Manaea second lowest at a 109, and Masahiro Tanaka third lowest at a 110. In the National League, Aaron Nola has the lowest at a 105, Jacob deGrom second lowest at a 107, and Steven Strasburg third lowest at a 109. Pitching WAR leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the highest at a 3.9, Masahiro Tanaka second highest at a 3.5, Shane Bieber rounds at the top 3 at a 3.1. In the National League, Aaron Nola has a 3.9, the highest, Jacob deGrom second highest at a 3.6, Steven Strasburg third highest at a 3.5. At batting WAR leaders in the American League, DJ LeMahieu has the highest at a 6.2, Yasmani Grandal second best at a 5.8, Yohan Moncada third best with a 5.7. And in the National League, Christian Yelich has the highest at a 6.9. Jonathan Villar has a 6.7. He's second best, and Marcus Semien third best with a 6.6. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Saturday, July the 25th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network.